All right, so let's get started. Let me tell you what we're going to make today. This is how I'm going to get this going. We have my baked eggy tofu. That's going to go into my cornbread dressing later. We have my Jill's Trusty cornbread. This is the cornbread that I use every time we have beans or chili or anything like that. And so I love that recipe. It's super easy to throw together. I'm going to make fresh Cranberry-Chia jam. Oh, that sounds good, doesn't it? And then I'm going to show you how I make my cultured cashew cheese, which will later become a nice, we're going to turn that into a ranch and onion cheeseball. Cheeseball. And then I have another party cheese log. So I have two recipes that we will change that cultured cheese to. But and then we have my buttermilk bread recipe. Typically I use this buttermilk bread to make like a cinnamon bread, but this time I'm going to use it to make our Thanksgiving dinner rolls. Oh. And then finally I'm going to show you how I put together my trusty pie crust. The one that works for everything, whether I'm making a pecan pie or if I'm making Mima's soy curls pot pie. This is my pie crust that I use every time I have to make a pie crust. Okay, so there we go. We're ready. Are you ready? Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready to make some food with you. Oh yeah. I'm a little bit spazzy. It's okay. Right? It's okay, because you love me for that. Okay, so let's get the baked eggy tofu going. I did a lot of prep. Okay, so in this container, I'm going to switch cameras here so you can get a closer look. Oh, grab that again. Oh, there we go. Okay, so in this container, I have 2 cartons of extra firm tofu that I've already drained off and cubed up. And I just try to shoot for like 1-inch cubes, okay? Again, this is going to go into my cornbread dressing. And, you know, my Meemaw, I don't know if your Meemaw is like my Meemaw, but my Meemaw liked putting boiled egg whites in her cornbread dressing. And those were that was part of one of my favorite things about her dressing. And so to replace the egg whites, I've learned to bake tofu. And I start out with these big chunks because once you bake them up, they kind of shrink down a little bit, but they create this nice chewy texture. So, and I made so much of it because I'm planning to make enough cornbread dressing that we're going to have enough for our Thanksgiving meal, but then I'm going to cut it in half and I'm going to save some back, put it in the freezer, and so we can have some for Christmas. So Charlie and I can enjoy that then. Okay, and this is really simple. I'm just going to season this tofu with black salt. If you don't know what black salt is, it's actually a mineral that's ground up. You can find it online, but most of the time it is really expensive online. If you have an Indian grocery store, I highly recommend you go explore. This is I don't know how to pronounce that at all, but you're going to look for Kala Namak. I'm probably mispronouncing that too, but that's what you're looking for, okay? You're looking for this word here. Okay? And this is like a 3.5 ounce bag. This cost me like $1.99, maybe $1.99. And this is a lot. This is a lot of black salt. This will take me a long time to use up because it doesn't take very much. But the reason I like to use black salt is because it has a sulfur. It's salty, but it also has a sulfur taste to it that, like, when you taste it, you'll automatically think boiled eggs. I kid you not. There's no imagining anything. It smells like boiled eggs. It tastes like boiled eggs. So I'm going to season the tofu with that, and then I'm just going to use fresh ground black pepper, which pay no attention to this label. I just grind up my own peppercorns. And oh wait, I need that. That would be a disaster. Let's keep this on. Okay. Now, here's how I like to roll. I've got a big baking sheet here, my big half sheet pan, and I've got it lined with a a Silpat here. I've got my oven hot at 450 degrees because I'm also going to bake. Woo! Did you see that water come out? I'm also going to bake the cornbread at the same time. So let me get this out. Let me drain this. I don't want to get water all over the... I cut that up last night and it still drained off. Okay, there we go. All right, now I just want to kind of push this around, give this tofu a little bit of space, but it's okay to crowd tofu like this. It won't matter. You'll have some chewy tofu on the edges and you'll have some tender tofu in the center. No big thing. Okay, we don't need... All right, and then I'm just going to sprinkle this on. And I'll just be honest with you, learning how much black salt to put on your tofu is should be a learning experience. Everybody has different tolerances to salt. I like to just pile it on. And the reason is, well, I'm piling it on here because I know this is going in cornbread dressing. So a lot of this is going to fall off. It's going to get mixed in when I make the cornbread dressing. So I really want my tofu to be over seasoned here. All right, that's it. Wow, that was hard. Okay, we're going to pop that up in the oven in just a minute when I pop in the cornbread. All right. Yay! All right, I'm going to put that to the side. Okay. Next, let's make some cornbread. All right, put that to the... I am so organized. It's amazing how organized I am. Oh my gosh, look at this. I've even portioned everything out. Crazy. Okay, now on to my trusty cornbread. Well, here, I'm just going to do it like this. We're going to pretend like we're at Sonic, a vegan Sonic. I'm going to just work right off the tray. Okay, so in my bowl, I have 1.5 cups of corn flour or cornmeal and 1/2 cup of whole wheat pastry flour. You can use any flour that you have on hand. I just tend to buy one kind of flour and stick to it. And for me, whole wheat pastry flour works, you know, across the board for cupcakes, muffins, pancakes, cakes, you know. So I just try to keep it as the least amount of complication as possible. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so that's what's in here. And then I've also, okay, and then I need to add 2 teaspoons of, oh my dog, hold on. Come on. I trapped Poncho in my office. Whoops. Hey, Poncho. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, and then in my little bowl here, I have 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a teaspoon of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, which should just cancel those things out. That's one of those, I don't know why I'm putting both in, but that's what the recipe says. Okay, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, so sprinkle that in there. Hey, get in there. I need all of you. All right, let's give that a little stir. I'm so excited to be here. This is so much fun. Everybody hear me okay? Everything going well? Everybody's chatting with everyone. Yay! Be sure, after this is over, or right now if you want to, because you guys are on your laptops and whatnot, grab the URL in your browser and go share this with all your Facebook friends. In all the Facebook groups that you're involved in, go let them know right now what we're doing over here and invite them to come and join us, especially your plant-based Facebook groups that, you know, that are just getting started or, you know, brand new whatevers. They really need to hear this. Okay, so I've got all that mixed up. Now I want to add, this is my buttermilk. Do you guys know how to make buttermilk? Okay, so this goes back way before I was ever plant-based. I learned to make buttermilk by adding vinegar to milk. And then, of course, the vinegar curdles the milk and it gets it really thick. And there you have buttermilk. Yeah, it's really that simple. And it's no different when you use a non-dairy milk. Does the same thing. So I like to use unsweetened plain soy milk. And I have 1.5 cups here, and I just added 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. And I did that, just before we went live here. And now it is thick and curdled, and it looks like buttermilk. All right, so I'm gonna add that. Dun, dun, dun. Did you see those chunks? Oh, that was gross. Ah. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna turn it this way. Let me check. I want you to see this. Okay. Now this is what I like to call flaxseed jelly. This is ground flaxseed, and I make a lot when it's the holiday season and I know I'm going to do a lot of baking. I just go ahead and make a whole pint jar's worth of flax jelly. That's what I like to call it. Anyways, so this is a 1/2 cup of ground flaxseed with 1.5 cups of water. And then I just, put on a lid and I give it a good shake and then I put it in the refrigerator. And I'll tell you, I know this keeps really well for a week. I can use this up in a week. And it probably lasts a little longer than a week, but when I'm, in the baking zone, it doesn't take long to use this up. Now, to use this, I just need 1/4 cup of flaxseed jelly to replace 1 egg. And my recipe, my cornbread recipe comes from an old Betty Crocker recipe, and in it called for 2 eggs, I believe. Yeah, it called for 2 eggs. So I'm going to use 1/2 cup of flaxseed jelly. Oh, did you see that clump? I'm going to have to make sure I stir. All right, there we go. Ooh, nice and slimy. Yum, 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 yum. Yeah, I saw it. I'll make sure it goes away. Okay, and then for my oil replacement, I have just good old applesauce. Now, I made this yesterday afternoon, so, it's oxidized. Even though I put a little lime juice in my applesauce, it's still oxidized, but that's okay. I need 1/4 cup of applesauce. Now, in the past, I've also used Silicone tofu, which is really good to replace processed oils in like regular, cooking oil in baked goods as well, and it keeps your bread moist. So if I were eating this cornbread like straight up, I would get out my Silicone tofu and use it to because I know I'd get a moister cornbread. But I know this cornbread's going to end up in dressing, and I'm going to end up adding veggie broth and all sorts of stuff. It's going to get wet, so I'm not going to worry about it. Now I got to find that flax ball. That was unexpected. And I'm just going to stir this up until all my dry ingredients are moist. Where is that ball? Did I get it? I did. Well, that wasn't a big deal. Okay. La 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 la. That's it. Okay, I'm good. All right, now I'm going to transfer this. Y'all, this is how it rolls. This is what a silicone pad looks like when you go to town baking in it all the time. This looks terrible, doesn't it? Oh, well. It's the way it is. All right, I'm going to transfer. This is a 9x9 silicone baking mat. And I'll tell you, I'll be real honest with you. The reason it's dark on the edges is because we've used it to cook oily, vegan, processed foods in it, and the oil has discolored the silicone. Little note there: do not let people cook oily, vegan, processed foods in your silicone bakeware. But it still works. Okay, there we go. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's pop this in the oven. Okay, it's going in my 450 degree oven. for 20 minutes. Ah. All right, here's my eggy tofu. I'm going to put it on the top rack. I'm going to put my cornbread in the middle rack. Oh. Okay. Yay! All right, let me get this out of the way. Next, we're going to tackle the fresh Cranberry-Chia jam. Dun, da, da. Wait, hold on. Chia. Okay. I'm on a roll, y'all. Okay, so for my fresh Cranberry-Chia jam, this is a half a bag of cranberries. Now, I'll just be real honest. I don't really separate my food into baggies. I just did all this for this show, okay? I don't divide out my ingredients before I cook it, normally. I'm just doing this for this, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so so I have a half a bag of what was frozen cranberries. And of course, I let these thaw in the refrigerator overnight, but that is not, you don't need to do that. You could just work with straight up frozen cranberries if you want to, or you can use fresh, whatever you've got. And then my recipe, when you go to read the recipe for this, you're going to see I said one navel orange. And I think I said a large one. No, I just said one navel orange. I forgot to get one at the grocery store, but thankfully we love mandarin oranges in this house. So I just peeled up 3 mandarin oranges, which are much sweeter than navel, I think. I have 1 teaspoon of black chia seeds, and then a half a cup of organic sugar. All right, now I want to, the sugar and the orange juice are going to sweeten these cranberries, and I want to blend, can you see that? There you go. I'm going to blend up the oranges first, and I'm going to do that in my Nutribullet. Who's got a Nutribullet? Say, woo, woo. This is my quick orange juice. I might have to add a little water to this. We'll see. I'm going to give this a little zip until it's smooth. It's going to be a little noisy. I'm sorry. Ta-da! Thank you, Nutribullet. Oh yeah, perfect. Juice. I'm going to add this to my medium saucepan. Throw in my cranberries. And I need this to simmer over medium heat for about 10 minutes or long enough for my cranberries to pop. Add my sugar. And I'm saving the chia seeds for last. The chia seeds, I'm using those to help thicken my cranberry jam and make it jammy. Because we we grew up eating cranberry from a can. Yeah, I'm not too proud to admit it. That stuff was good. But, a long time ago, when I was in the process of learning how to eat clean, one of the things that I did was to try to avoid high fructose corn syrup in my foods. And if y'all ever if you've looked at a can of cranberry jelly or cranberry stuff in a can, they both have high fructose corn syrup in them. So I had to learn a long time ago how to make my own. All right, let's put this on the stove over medium heat. Y'all help me to remember that it's going on. Don't let me forget that I got chia jam back there. Y'all know me. I'll get to yapping and I'll forget. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Next, to telling you, I am a multitasking woman. I got it going on. Got my game on, baby. Woo! Okay. I'm hot today, baby. I got it going on. What's the next thing I need to do? What's next? Cultured cashew cheese. Okay, this is easy. Piece of cake. This is Maggie's favorite food right now. Used to be black beans. Then I introduced her to cultured cashew cheese, and now she's like, Mom, we're out of cheese. She would eat it all day long if she could. I would eat it all day long if I could. All right, get in my stuff here. Okay, this is super simple. Okay, if you have explored making your own vegan cheese, you know that there's all different ways. Well, you know that the word cheese gets thrown around pretty loosely like the word love. You know what I'm saying? People call things cheese, and then you taste it, you try to make it yourself, and you're like, that ain't cheese, baby, that ain't cheese. Yeah, I know you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so, but this really is a great recipe. I got this from a raw, can I call it a raw cookbook? Because I'm not actually cooking. What do you call a raw cookbook? Is it just a raw book? Well, whatever. Okay, so I got it from a raw cookbook. And basically it's just fermenting some cashew sauce. So this is gonna, or ferment or culture some cashew sauce. Now let me change angles. Oh no, I'm gonna leave it. All right, the first thing I need to do is cream my cashews. Well, ow. All right, I have in this container, I forgot. Oh, I have 3 cups of soaked cashews here. Okay, I soaked these last night and then I drained off the water. They probably soaked for about a half an hour and then I drained them off. Okay, so they're nice and plump and they're soft. The reason I did that was just to ensure that I was going to have a nice creamy texture for my cheese. All right, I forgot my thing. Hold on. There. Okay, so back to the back to my Nutribullet. You can do this in a Vitamix if you want to. I'm going to add all my soaked cashews. La 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 la. I'm going to start with 1 cup of cold water, which I'm probably going to have to add more. We'll see. And the reason I just want the water to just come up on my cashews. Let me show you here. I just want the water to come up right about here because I want my cashews sauce to be thick. If I had more water in there, then I would probably have to move this cashew sauce into a cheesecloth, put the cheesecloth in a strainer, put the strainer over a bowl, and then as it fermented or cultured in the next 24 hours, then all that extra water would need to drip out, okay? It's not a lot of water that drips out, but it does drip out. But I'm gonna start, so to skip the cheesecloth and the strainer and the bowl and messing all that stuff up, I just try to put the least amount of water that I can in there without having to drain it off. You get me? You follow me? All right. Okay, and then to my cultured cheese, I am adding 1 tablespoon of nutritional yeast, or nooch as we call it in the plant-based circles. You know you're plant-based, and in the cool crowd when you start calling it nooch. All right, and then let's see what else I have. Half teaspoon of sea salt or fine salt, and half a teaspoon of probiotic powder. Now, I don't know anything about probiotic powders and whatnots except what my community has told me. They've told me that some of them are made with dairy and not, so you have to look for that kind of stuff. Some have told me some probiotics have more microbes than others. It gets kind of complicated, but I didn't know any of that. I just bought the cheapest bottle of probiotic capsules that I could find at my regular grocery store on the natural food aisle, you know, in that little refrigerated cubby thing that they have. And I bought a bottle of children's probiotics. And I didn't count microbes or anything like that. I was just looking at the price tag and said, oh, it says probiotics, I'll buy it. And it works. It works. So I don't know that getting into the fine details of probiotics makes any difference when we're culturing cheese. That's what I'm trying to get to. Anyways, all right, so I'm gonna throw that in there. And I need 1 teaspoon of fresh lemon juice. Add a little wang. That wasn't quite a whole teaspoon. There we go. And then we're gonna blend this up until it's smooth. Dun, 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 dun. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. That my cashew sauce is actually creamy and not gritty. It's smooth. Oh my gosh. That's awesome right there. I'm going to have to hide this because as soon as Maggie finds out that I've got some made, she's going to come dipping. She's going to come and spoon it out. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. Okay, let's see. I need a couple of jars. Actually, I'm going to put it in here. Let me rinse this off. Actually, I think I'll be even smarter. You know what? I'm going to get even smarter. Because I'm using my Nutribullet container here, I can just put a lid on this. And I'm done. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. This is cool. Hold on. I can't waste this cheese. They make it, Nutribullet makes it very hard that you just can't stick your finger in here and, you know, lick the blades, or can't do any of that. I mean, you could, but you shouldn't. You want to, but you don't. All right, that's good enough. La, 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 la. Oh, wait, there's a big glob. Hold on. Sorry. I can't help it. It's in my genes. I can't waste food. I have to get every little bit. Okay, wait, there's a glob right there. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't help it. Okay, I'm going to lick that later, off camera. Okay, let me just push, I'm going to push down the sides here and get it all in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this up in my cabinet here in my kitchen. You want to put it somewhere where it's like, you know, an average of 72 degrees in your house. So that could be a closet, that could be a cabinet. And I'm gonna put this up for 24 hours. You can go 48 hours and get a really nice tangy cheese. That's awesome. Hey, I'm done. Where's my lid? Ta-da, got a lid. All right, okay, cashew cheese. I'll see you in 24 hours. That's done. What's next? Next, I need to tend to this. This is finished. Okay, got that. I got that. Time to take this off. Woo! All right. I want you to see this. I hope you can see this. All right, so here's my cranberry jam. It's very watery right now, but that's okay. Probably hasn't been a total 10 minutes. But this will thicken up, I promise. All right, and I'm going to add my chia seeds. And the chia seeds, if you've ever worked with chia seeds, you know they make everything thick. Going to thicken it up. Now, if I really want to make this like a cranberry jelly and not a jam, I could run some of this through the Vitamix. Hold on. Let's do that. Not the Vitamix, the Nutribullet. I keep saying that. All right, so here we go. Let's do that. Let's just take a few of these. We'll leave some cranberries behind, just so that we know they're in there. Go. Ooh, yummy. Okay, I'm just leaving a few behind, not a whole bunch. My family's not actually crazy about chunks being in their jam, even though that's the way it's supposed to be. Now this is really hot, so I have to be careful. I have to give this like a quick zip. I didn't realize I was going to use the Nutribullet so much. Make sure that's screwed on. Oh my gosh. If you don't have a Nutribullet, let me just say, of course you're going to learn it and then you'll never forget it. You got to make sure that lid's on good and tight. All right. Oh, it wants to loosen. Okay. Haha. I'm afraid. You're not supposed to do hot liquids here. There we go. It doesn't take long. Okay, that's it. That's all I wanted to do. Just 3 little zips. 3 little zips. That's it. Oh, that scared me. That scared me. Oh, yeah. Look here. Oh, yeah. See, I still got nice chunks in there. Okay. Ah! Drip, drip. Drip, drip. Now, let's see. We're not eating till Saturday, so this is going to be great and nice and thick by the time Saturday rolls around. Let me get my decorative bowl. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the container that I want to use. Put it in my classic Pyrex because I'm a Pyrex junkie. Yummy. Who is in love with Pyrex? Oh, somebody said don't burn my formica. I won't. I'm careful. You kidding? This is 1976 formica. It's tough. It's the tough stuff. There we go. Now see, I still got a few little chunks in there. Make it look like cranberry. And I promise that will be thick. You'll see Saturday. It will be nice and thick. Look at dirt. I wish I could turn that a little bit more, but then I'd dump it on the floor. Yay! Okay, I'm going to leave this off and let it cool just a little bit before I put it in the fridge. Dun, dun, dun. Sorry. I'm making all sorts of noise in here. I hope I don't knock that off. Hold on. Okay. Get this done. What's next? How much time do I have? I got 3 minutes left on my cornbread and my baked tofu. Let me check the baked eggy tofu and make sure it's not getting too brown. Normally, I bake the tofu at about 400 degrees and I go 20 minutes. But because I'm trying to consolidate my oven time, because this is the only baking I'm going to do today, I was just trying to make the most of my heat and getting it all, and all that. And I wasn't about to sacrifice my cornbread. I want it to bake at the proper temperature. So I thought, well, I'll just kind of wing it with the tofu. Of course, I feel like, oh yeah, this looks good. I feel like because I'm putting the tofu on the top rack, it doesn't cook up as quickly. Oh, this is good. Okay, it can last. It can make it. Ooh, and that cornbread looks good too. Okay, I'm gonna let that rock. 2 more minutes. Yay! As I go, I can't function if I don't clean up as I go. All right, what's next? All right, here's the baked eggy tofu. No, I'm certainly not gonna let this touch my formica. Look at there. So good. Nice and peppery. Got a nice brown top. It's dry on the outside, but it's still moist in the middle. Okay, because that's the way I like it. And it's not very brown on the bottom. I mean, it looks like cooked egg whites, doesn't it? Looks like if you fried an egg. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't gonna pretend like I never fried an egg before. It has that texture, okay? Has that chewy texture of a fried egg. But on the inside, it's still moist. And that's what I want, okay? Because this has to go through another recipe. And it's gonna cook again. So I don't wanna overbake it here. You know what I'm saying? I just want the flavors to be stuck on, and I want the browning process to start. But that's it. This is done. I'm gonna let this cool. I'll put it back in a container. I'll throw it in the refrigerator, and then I'll try to hide these from the family, and then they'll go into the cornbread dressing Saturday morning. Ho ho! Okay, now for the cornbread. Oh, let me get this. Let's be smart. Let's be smart. Oh, yeah, baby. Look at that pretty cornbread. It's so good. So good. And this is going to make, this is a lot of cornbread for just a family of 4. And really, it's really Charlie, Max, and myself that will be enjoying the cornbread dressing. But again, like I mentioned earlier in the show, I'm going to make enough cornbread dressing so that I can divide it and enjoy some for Thanksgiving and enjoy it at Christmas. So just because that's how much we like it. Anyways, there you go. Look at that. It's perfect. And I love silicone because I'm going to be able to, look at this. I can just take this out. Y'all ready? Look here. The glory of silicone. Ha ha ha. Hold on. There's a suction on there. I know it's there. Hold on. Let's see. Now, typically I would wait 5 minutes. Let's see if I'm going to ruin this. Ooh. Does it want to come out? It doesn't want to come out because it's too hot yet. I can't touch that silicone. There ain't no way I'm touching that baby. Okay, it's not ready. We'll come back to that in just a minute. It needs to cool a minute. What's left? There's one thing left. We're almost done. Ah. Now for my trusty pie crust. Let me get these things out of the way. How are y'all doing? You're still with me? I'm looking. I see Fruity Foodie and Robin and Rishi. Rochelle? Is that Rochelle? Hi, Rochelle. Did I mess up your name? I'm sorry. Who else is here? Scott Girl is here and Bunny. Oh my goodness, y'all are awesome. MP4. Ford. I love it. Who else is here? Who else is here? Debbie Sanders made it. Y'all are going to town. Ellen Davis. Hi, Ellen. Ginger Schmidt just cluing in that y'all are here. Y'all have probably been here the whole time. I'm sorry. Chuck is here. Hi, Chuck. Hi, Chuck. He's my Facebook friend. There's Kelsey, a Robin L, a Jean. That's a Gina. Is that Gina? And Bryn made it. There's Terry Sue. Y'all are awesome. Bryn was asking me, Jill, will this video be saved? Yes. Yes, she says, I can't write fast enough to get all these recipes. You don't need to be writing these recipes down. I'll have them in a PDF for you to download later. So chill, relax, have fun. Yes, when this live broadcast is over, YouTube will automatically convert it into a regular view-on-demand video so you can watch it anytime. I'm actually going to put all these into a playlist here on my channel, and I'm going to call it Thanksgiving Recipes 2016, and I'll probably put it at the top of my channel page so that you guys can refer to it during the month, and then we'll just keep it, I'll keep it up there, and then I don't know if I'll keep it up, but that's where we're going to get started. So don't sweat it. You can watch all these later. Okay, now for my pie crust. We're all live, right? Okay, we're good. Let me check. Let me get this back. Robin says, oh wow, she said my name. Say my name, say my name. Now, how's that song go? Because I don't know it. Say my name, say my name. All right, here comes a disclaimer. You ready? You ready? I have been plant-based this month, this Thanksgiving, 5 years. And the first year that we were plant-based, we were given thanks the first year. That's true. We did give thanks a lot the first year. Anyways, well, things haven't changed. But anyways, that first year, I worked like a crazy woman trying to convert and find all the convert all my recipes and, strip them of their oil, strip them of eggs and dairy and all that kind of stuff. And I did a pretty good job. I mean, I've pretty much been able to make all of our recipes plant-based, completely plant-based, and still retain their flavors and their textures, and they're still awesome, and my family's loved them. I mean, they're like, oh good, it didn't, going plant-based didn't ruin the recipe, okay? You think it's gonna, but it doesn't. Your family thinks, oh gosh, she's gone plant-based, or he's gone plant-based, now the food's gonna taste weird, and we're gonna start eating grass. No, it doesn't. Just relax. The food gets better, I promise. Except when it comes to making flaky pie crust. There I ran into trouble. Now you gotta understand, I have raised my family on flaky pie crust. My son absolutely loves apple pie for his holiday pie. He could care less about pecan and pumpkin. Apple pie is his thing. And, once you start something with your family, it's kind of hard to make them go back and try something new, especially when it's something they really love. So Max is spoiled to his apple pie having a bottom crust and having lattice work on the top. I know, with flaky pie crust. And then my husband and I, we were raised on pecan pie with the flaky pie crust. Well, through a lot of trial and error and trying to substitute the fat that goes into a flaky pie crust recipe, I'm here to tell you, and to help you save your groceries, that there is no such thing as a fat-free, flaky pie crust. Now, I'm not talking about date nut crust. I'm not talking about making a different kind of crust or a graham cracker crust or anything like that. I'm talking about a flaky pastry pie crust. You know what I'm saying? Like when you break it with your fork, the flakes shatter. That's the pie crust I'm talking about, okay? You can't get that without fat. Fat is essential for making it's essential for helping create the pockets that between the gluten that makes the flake, okay? It doesn't happen any other way. The fat and the water work together. The water heats into steam during the baking process. As the steam expands the gluten and the flour, the holes are created, okay? So this is the one place in my Thanksgiving dinner where you're going to see a plant-based margarine, okay? A plant-based, a processed fat. Nowhere else in my Thanksgiving Palooza are you going to see me pull out any processed oils. This is the only place, okay? So I'm just showing you. Now, if you want to make the pies that I make and you want to do them with the crust that you prefer or a different kind of crust, go for it. Do that. I totally recommend it. But for my family and for these two pies, for this one time of year, I'm sticking with what works. Okay? There you go. That's it. Do not set me on fire. Don't fuss at me. This is the way I roll. This is who I am. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now, let's make pie crust. She's like, where's she going? Where'd she go? What happened? I had to go get the margarine. I had it in the freezer because I want it to be super cold. All right. So let me get out my processor. I am going to take this stuff off my tray. Dun, dun, dun. All right, I'm going to switch cameras so you can get a closer look. Oh, good, you can see. Okay, what is that she has? What is this? This is my food processor. This is my Breville all-in-one processing station. It is awesome. This is cool because this is the motor of a hand blender or an immersion blender, and it just attaches to the top of the processing bowl. Is that not cool? And then it makes the blade spin. Yeah, it's awesome. Affiliate links to all my favorite appliances will be provided under the video description after the video turns into a video. So you're more than welcome to use my Amazon affiliate link to go get these awesome appliances. I would appreciate it. I need to get a drink of water. I'm a little thirsty. Hold on just a second. Sorry, I was getting thirsty. Okay. So I'm making 3 pie crusts here. So this is why there's like so much butter. I need 2 crusts for Max's apple pie, a bottom, and then I need crust for the lattice work. And then I need a pie crust for Charlie's pecan pie, okay? The pumpkin pie that I plan to make for Maggie, it's gonna be a rolled oats and dates crust. So that one's gonna be much easier to put together. So in my processing bowl, I have for 3 crusts, okay, 3 pie crust, I'm putting 1 cup of very, 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 very cold, ooh, this is really, really cold. Oh no, it's not that cold. Really, really cold margarine. And this is vegan. The brand I like to use is Smart Balance with flax oil. Smart Balance is a regular grocery store margarine. They're not a vegan company, but the Smart Balance Light with flax, I think they say with flax or with flaxseed, is a non-dairy vegan margarine. It even says so on the package. So that's the one I like to use. And I also like to use this one because it tastes just like the margarine I grew up eating. So it doesn't make your food taste funky. Okay, and then in this bowl I have 3 cups of whole wheat pastry flour, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and then I'm going to add 6 tablespoons of water to make this dough. So first I want to cut my flour and my butter together into a mealy texture. Give this a few zaps. Oh, I need to plug this in. Let me put this on. Hold on. Dun, 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 dun. Lock this into place. Where's my power? I need some power. I need some power. Hello, Mrs. Butternut. How are you hiding behind that Nutribullet? Hello, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. Well, she has a English accent today. The other day she had a Georgia accent. Okay. She doesn't know who she wants to be. Okay, here we go. I am going to run this and pulse this until my flour is mealy. Now I love that. That's another reason why I love this processing system, because, you know, if I were using a traditional food processor, I couldn't tilt the bowl like this at all. You can't do that. You want to do that, but you can't. But in this thing, having your motor up here makes it totally easy to manipulate the ingredients inside the bowl. Yeah, I know, it's awesome. Okay, so making sure that there wasn't any butter balls in there. Okay, now I'm gonna, you can't see this very well, but there's a little container here. I'm gonna pull this off, and I'm gonna start adding water to this. Now, flour, depending on the flour that you're using, you gotta walk in this water step, okay? So typically, if I were making 1 pie crust, to 1 cup of flour, I would probably start with, I would add like 2 tablespoons of water, see if the ball comes, if my flour turns into a ball. If it's still dry, then I kind of walk in that last tablespoon of water. So for this, I said I'm going to use 6 tablespoons, but I'm actually going to start with 4, and then I'm going to walk in the last 2 tablespoons. And the water, I want to use ice cold water. Ice, baby. Oh yeah, ice, baby. Now this is tricky because I got to keep my finger on the trigger here while I do this. Here, I go from this end. All right, I can't talk and count, so I'm going to be quiet here. All right, we'll start with 4, 2, 3, 4. All right, and I want to just run this S-blade until the flour becomes a ball. Okay, it's coming together, but it's still lumpy. You see that? It's coming together, but it's not enough yet. So let's go. I know I can put a whole tablespoon in here. That'll be cool. Okay, almost there. Let's go this I'm going to go half a tablespoon. I'm telling you, once you go in, you can't go back. Well, you could. Oh, it's coming together. See that? Oh yeah. All right, so that was like, what, 5.5 tablespoons? And I'm not trying to knead my pie crust. I just want it to come together. And I just want it to be, I don't want it to be too sticky, but I want it to be moist, okay? So even though it didn't make a ball, it is wet and ready. Oh yeah, look at there. See that? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shape this up, and I'm going to put it in a bowl. And I'm just going to leave this in the refrigerator overnight. This will easily keep, if you put it in a plastic container or something that will help it stay moist, you can make this pie crust, I think you can wait like 5 days. I'm just going to say 5 days for sure. I was going to be I think it's a week. But I always just make this pie crust a couple of days before I need it. So I try not, I don't bother remembering just how long. You can also freeze this. It's totally cool to freeze this. If you decide you're going to make enough dough to make several pies, then go ahead and divide it up into divide the dough up first, and then make little discs. And this is wet. Okay, this is a wet dough, but that's okay because can you see that it's kind of sticky? It is a wet dough, but that's okay because when it comes time to take this out of the refrigerator, and I'm gonna flour my surface, and I'm gonna flour my rolling pin, and then I'm gonna roll it out and give it more flour, and try to keep things from sticking. Then I won't be drying out my pie crust. You hear me? You get me? You get me? Okay, so but if I was gonna put this in a freezer, I would divide this up. I would make it into a little disc like this, okay, but smaller. I'd make this into a little disc. I'd put it in a little freezer bag, and I'd put it up in the freezer. That's it. But I'm going to use this tomorrow, so I'm just going to throw it in this bowl, and I'm going to put a plate on it, or put some plastic on it, and then I'm just going to leave that in the fridge. And that's it. That's my pie crust. Ba-da-da-da-da. La la. This has been so much fun. Okay, I want to show you. Let's see if that cornbread actually comes out of my silicone mat. Let's see. Let's see. Is it going to come out? The moment of truth. It's cooled down now. It should come out fine because it's not. Oh, do you see that? See how I made it? That's a good sign. Womp 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 womp. Okay, sorry. Playing with my food. Come out. Come out. You're being stubborn. Now I got condensation in the container. Look here. Oh, look at that. This is another reason to love silicone. Look at that. I just peel it back. Uh-oh, did I have some burning? Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, got a little tearing. Oh, there's the imperfection. Oh, she's not perfect. Dang it. Oh, man. I'm going to have to eat that. Yum, yum. Oh, look at that. I just made myself thirsty. Oh, I'm going to leave this like this because it had a little condensation in there. So I'm going to let that dry out. I'm going to let that dry upside down. When this is completely cool, I'm going to put it in a plastic bag. I might crumble it and then put it in a plastic bag and put it in the refrigerator, and it will be ready to go Saturday morning when I go to turn it into cornbread dressing. Ha ha ha! And then I've got my baked eggy tofu. And I'll probably just use this. I got my little container here. And see, this just comes right off. And see how I've got this, I've still got this black salt on my pan. If I just roll that around there, I can kind of pick up some of that black salt. That way my black salt doesn't go to waste. Look at that. Oh, tell you what, these are good. You can make these a snack. Oh, man. These are so good, just like this. You can also use this, you go to make a stir fry, then bake up some tofu, go ahead and stir fry your veggies, and then right before you're ready to serve, throw these on top. Oh, so good. You can also make them a sandwich. Oh my gosh, drop these in a sandwich. You could cut them down a little bit and make a little egg salad sandwich, something like that. You can do anything. Just let your imagination go wild. Woo! All right, there you go. That's done. Look at that. I am on top of it. All right. That's it. That is all the prep work I need for today. Whew. I hope that tomorrow goes as well as this did. Oh, this was pretty serious. All right, so again, please, I would love your help, love your help to let as many people as we know in on what I'm doing here, okay? I want everyone who is experiencing their first or second plant-based dinner, whether maybe they're the first one to make it or it's their first time, you know, being part of a plant-based Thanksgiving dinner, whatever their story, invite them here to my channel, simpledailyrecipes.com. Let them know that I'm doing this live Thanksgiving Palooza, and that there will be these videos here for them to watch, and that they can see that it's really easy to pull together a plant-based Thanksgiving dinner. Like I said earlier, I am going to put this in a playlist that will say Thanksgiving Recipes 2016, because, you know, if this works out, I'll just do this every year. And so it'll be right at the top of my channel here, so it'll be really easy for them to find. You can just tell them to, you know, just grab the YouTube URL here, youtube.com/Simple Daily Recipes, and then just, you know, plop that into your Twitter and your Instagram and all your Facebook groups, not just your personal page, but all your favorite foodie Facebook groups. Go and share with them and let them know what's going on. Because you know what? Eating plant-based is not stressful. It really isn't. It seems stressful at first, but it's really not. You just take it one recipe at a time. That's it. That's just the way it rolls. I mean, and you can get it. You can get it here. And I just want to invite everybody here. I'd love to show everyone just how easy it is to eat plant-based, that it's not a big deal, and it's just that people eat closer to plant-based than they probably realize. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it, most of us love our vegetables, and it's really not that hard to go plant-based. Anyways, all right, I'm going to let y'all go. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out in the chat. I love you. I'm going to read your comments after I turn off the camera. But let's continue the conversation underneath the video. So probably about 15 minutes from now, the chat box will close and then the comments under the video will open up. So please, if you have a question for me and I didn't see it in the chat box, post your Thanksgiving questions or your plant-based questions here in the comments below this video, and I will answer them for you. Okay? All right. What else? Anything else? I can't think of anything else. That's it. All right, I will see y'all back here tomorrow starting at 11 o'clock. Tomorrow we're going to have 3 segments, okay? We're going to start with pies and snacking. I'm going to show you how I put together, we're going to bake Max's apple pie at 11 o'clock. At 11:45, you're going to see me put together Charlie's pecan pie, Maggie's pumpkin pie. I'm going to go ahead and do my sweet potatoes. And then we'll meet back again at 1 o'clock. I know, this is the Palooza part. Then we're going to meet back at 1 o'clock, and we're going to get out that cultured cheese. I'm going to show you how I make the ranch. I'm going to show you how I make the ranch and onion cheese ball, the party cheese log, and then I'm going to show you a hot veggie dip that we're going to put together. And it's not going to be part of our Thanksgiving meal, but it is something we're going to enjoy on Friday night because we like to get together as a family and watch movies together. So as a thank you to my family for letting me take over the kitchen like this, I'm going to make up this really great hot veggie dip for us to snack on during movie time. So I want to share that with y'all. And then that'll be it. That'll be it. It'll be great. All right, I'm gonna let y'all go. I love you. Thank you for sharing this with your friends. And again, just post all your comments in the comments below. All right, bye.